how about some more signings in free agency? I'll expect a lot more of these to come. Let's talk about them right now. Hey, everybody, what's going on? So, got some reporting. Jeff Passan's reporting from ESPN. It's on MLBTradeRumors.com too, that the Milwaukee Brewers have just reached a 2-year agreement with one of the top hitters that are left on the market. Rhys Hoskins, right-handed hitter who lost his first base job to Bryce Harper from the Phillies. And I actually had him predicted to go to the Cubs. So I was half right and I was half wrong. He's going to the NL Central, just to a different team. And again, adding a bat over there. What does this tell me also? I don't know if it tells you the same thing, but it tells me that the Brewers are serious about contending. I would expect them to add a little bit more, but this probably increases the likeliness that they are not going to put Corbin Burnes on the trading block. So, because they think they can contend. Otherwise, they wouldn't have added a player like Rhys Hoskins. Now, he is coming off a torn ACL, so he's got to prove that he's healthy again and productive, but he also has an opt-out after the first year. So if he is healthy, he can go back on the market and test to see if he can get a bigger contract. So it gives the Brewers some protection. It gives him some protection too. But again, they've added a bat here. Okay. Do I think they're going to add another pitcher? Maybe, because they lost Brandon Woodruff for the season with surgery. I don't think he's going to be back anyway. So I can see them adding a pitcher too. So there's still upwards of almost 150 players signed. Okay. And there's one more player to talk about as well. But before I do that, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss anything else. Okay. And if you do, hit the notification button too. That way you're always in front of the line when the news comes in, no matter what it is. And if you enjoy the content, hit the thumbs up. I thank you so much for that. Now, the other piece of news I have for you, Matt Moore, one of the top left-handed relievers on the market, is signing a 1 year, or not a 1 year, but it's a $9 million contract. And this is John Heyman reporting, also corroborated on MLBTradeRumors.com. He's going to the Angels. So they're adding, again, piece by piece, they're adding some players here. And I still expect them to make a splash too. Potentially with a starting pitcher, potentially with a bat. Like I mentioned, I think the Angels and maybe the Cubs are two teams that I could see making two splashes. One on the pitching side, one on the offensive side. And there's still plenty of players that are available to do that. But the Brewers just hopped in on the party too. And again, the NL Central was for the most part wide open right now. I mean, there's no real front runner. The Cubs aren't a front runner. The Reds aren't a front runner. The Brewers aren't a front runner. Neither the Pirates. Like, these teams are just not on front runners yet. So, and these, but most of the top farm teams in baseball right now are in the National League Central. So these teams are well equipped over the next upwards of almost a decade to be competitive. And that's what happens when you spend a year or almost a decade in the bottom of the barrel. You get a lot of high draft picks, right? Enables them to accumulate a good farm. And they've got a lot of young up-and-coming players like the Brewers do. A lot of top prospects. And they have a lot of youth over there as well. One of the top prospects in baseball. They've got a top closer in Devin Williams. They've got a pure ace who's going to be a free agent after next year, Corbin Burnes. I don't think he's going to be back, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's moved at the trade deadline if they seem to be out of contention. But at this point, I can see them keeping him now that they brought in Rhys Hoskins. Now, in terms of the Angels with Matt Moore, I could still see them adding a starter. And I had predicted Blake Snell there. So as a team, and these guys have known to spend big money on, even in some cases, massive overpays to players. And Scott Boras clients especially. I mean, they paid big money for Josh Hamilton, for Albert Pujols, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they spent big money on Blake Snell too to get him a bona fide ace up there in their rotation. I mean, they're going to have to make moves like this to compete with the teams like the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros in their division. So, but they've added a lefty arm for the bullpen, and good move for them. Not flashy, but I could see them making a couple more incremental moves, just like I could see the Dodgers making more incremental moves as well. So just stay tuned, gang. There's a lot more moves that are going to come. So have a great day. Talk to you next time.